84% of South Africans agree that a total lockdown was correct given the risk of the COVID-19 epidemic. This is according to an Ipsos survey to show how well the regulations are being received. Let's get more on this with Ipsos spokesperson Marie Harris. Marie, thank you very much for joining us this evening. I want to start off by finding out the scope of this survey, who was targeted and what were the key factors to be included in the survey.
Hello, Anli, and thanks for this opportunity. We interviewed 1,000 South Africans online, and the survey was run from the Ipsos panel. And we asked questions about how they felt about the lockdown, how they experience it, what do they think about people who go against the rules of the lockdown, and also ask some questions about their shopping behavior during the lockdown.
So 84% support for the strong lockdown measures. That's very definite support from South Africans. Are these people that were included in the survey from any specific financial sector, or were they across a broad spectrum of South Africa's citizens?
They were a spectrum of citizens, but people who have either internet at home or who have internet on their phones. That covers about 2/3 of South Africans. So this is not a nationally representative study. We can't do those at the moment because obviously we can't interview people face-to-face in home like you do with a national representative study. But this one, well, as I say, covers about 2/3 of South Africans. We did wait and project the results in the end to arrive at these final findings. They are representative of those people with access to the internet across all provinces, across all population groups, and across all income groups. Obviously, there are more affluent people in the sample than people who are not that affluent and poor, because they do not necessarily have smartphones. But I do think it gives a good indication of how the connected part of South African population thinks.
So how has the fear of COVID-19 and possible infection with COVID-19 changed people's behavior in terms of access to necessary food and medicine supplies?
What is very interesting is that about 92% of people say that they think very, very carefully in the mornings when they wake up about what they will do that day, whether they will meet anybody, and where they will go, and if they will go anywhere. That is a very high percentage, 92% of online South Africans. And also a very, very large majority of South Africans say if people contravene the regulations, there should be no grace for them. They should really be fined very, very heavily. But we see that quite a lot of people, 22% say now, well, it's a fifth, say that they do online shopping more than what they did before. So more frequently than what they did before.
Surveys like this one, measuring public buy-in or support for current government policies regarding the lockdown, are very important in gauging the likelihood of people adhering to those policies or regulations. We've seen some rumblings on social media in the last week or so about more recent policy changes specifically relating to the sale of cigarettes and alcohol. Have you seen any rumblings online or with your online activities as Ipsos about a decrease in support for government measures?
No, we haven't really. There obviously have been rumblings about the sale of cigarettes, and the big thing is because the government changed their view about it. When President Ramaphosa spoke about it earlier this week, a move that everybody expected, that he was not going to just open everything at the end of April. You know, people expected that the lockdown will continue, or at least some parts of the lockdown will continue. He said that cigarettes will be on sale. But then later in the week, Minister Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma changed the rule and said that cigarettes will not be on sale, and that really caused a lot of problems. People do not like the uncertainty. They would rather be told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, than to be left in the lurch and, think a regulation is this and then it's actually the other way. So a big thing, I think, for the government is to stick to the knitting and keep to the rules that they set themselves.
Well, thank you very much for that input. Marie Harris from Ipsos telling us about a recent survey there into the public buy-in into lockdown regulations.